Hello, everyone. Welcome to 2D Board Gamers. My name is Dave,
And I'm Dirk.
and today we thought we'd take a break from the villain reviews because Dirk and I have played Tigra and Hulkling and all the aspects. So we thought we would do a hero review. So we've already done the Tigra review if you want to check out that video. But this is the second hero that came in Civil War, Hulkling.
And like I kind of mentioned it in the Tiger video as well, but I mean, I think of all of the pairings of heroes that have come out since the beginning of the game, these two might be my favorite pair that came out that released at the same time.
Yeah, I think it's
I had a lot of fun. I mean, Hulkling might actually be my current favorite character, I think.
I think
Had a
it's
lot of fun with
I
it.
think it's Cult of the New for him.
Yeah. I
Just
really like this.
Just wait till Daredevil or Jessica Jones or some of them come out. If you're wondering what we're talking about, PAX Unplugged, they revealed that 2026 is going to be the year of the Defenders. So, all right. So, but let's take a look at Hulkling. So, what we're going to do is we're going to go over his kit cards, obligation, nemesis, and then cards we think are good for Hulkling.
All right, so Hulkling's alter ego is Teddy Altman. He is a Kree Skrull. He's got a recovery of 4. Now it's got a note here. He cannot have more than one shapeshift upgrade in play. We'll get to those here in a minute whenever we go over his cards. But as an action, he can do the shape changer ability, which allows him to search his deck and discard pile for a shapeshift upgrade and add it to his hand. And he can do this once per round. He's got a hand size of 5 and he's got 13 hit points.
And that's something to be critical is remember it's a hand size 5, not 6.
Yeah.
And he's one short for the 14 plus club.
Yes.
Almost like they did that on purpose. All right, then on his hero side, he's a 1/1/1, but you'll see, well, that won't matter here in a minute.
Yeah, that'll change.
He's an Avenger, Kree, and Skrull. Chosen shape, force response. After a shapeshift upgrade enters play under your control, discard each other shapeshift upgrade you control and ready Hulkling.
All right. And he also has 5 on that side, 5 hand size on that side as well.
Yep.
So yeah, he's interesting in the fact that his hand size is 5 on both sides.
Okay.
All right. So the first card we've got here is Wiccan, his brother, who is a signature. Not brother, his
brother.
his boyfriend, signature ally. He is Avenger Mystic with 2 hit points. He thwarts for 2. He attacks for 1. But as a response, after you play Wiccan from your hand, it does have to be from your hand. Search your deck and discard pile for an identity-specific event and add it to your hand, and then shuffle your card.
This does not look like speed.
I changed it.
Too late. All right, then we have the Altman Residence. It's a 1-cost support, location, alter ego action, exhaust Altman Residence, heal 2 damage from Teddy Altman, and shuffle 1 Hulkling card from your discard pile back into your deck. Now this is really nice. When you can get this out, it's amazing. And you'll see he has some extra ways to get to alter ego, which is nice.
Yes. All right, so now we're getting into his shape card. So his shape card, first one we've got here is the winged shape. It's a 2-cost upgrade. When this is in play, he gets +1 thwart, +1 attack, and +2 defense, so he gets 2 to each of his stats. And he gains the aerial trait, so that can be important as well, depending on your build. It's a hero response. After you play an event, you exhaust the winged shape to remove 2 threat from a scheme. So, of course, obviously, if you've got ways to unexhaust it, then you can always do that again. But this one provides an energy and a mental resource. So it is a double resource that provides 2 different resources.
Yeah. So now one thing that's really nice about Hulkling and like the decks that I built, I have not put in like the energy, strength, genius, because he's got 4 shapeshifts that are double resources.
Yeah, every one of them is double resource.
And if the only time you really need to cough up a lot of money is if you're going to swap,
if you're doing a lot of form swapping,
yeah,
because they all also cost 2.
Yeah, so this one gives you +1 thwart, +1 attack, and +1 defense. So now, like we were saying, the 1/1/1 is not so bad because now he's a 2/2/2, and you're going to see each of the forms buff up his stats. All right, now we have Hulk shape here. So this is the fighting version. 2-cost upgrade. Hulkling gets +2 attack and +1 defense, and after you play an event, exhaust Hulk shape, deal 2 damage to an enemy, and it provides 2 strength. So yeah, every time, well, I should say, the first time per turn when you play an event, you can exhaust the shape and to do some kind of ability. So this one does damage, which is nice. And he might have ways to unexhaust the shapes.
All right, next here we've got the armored shape. So this one is his defense one. It gives him +1 attack, +2 defense, and he gets retaliate 1. And his response for this is after you play an event, you can exhaust it to heal 2 damage from Hulkling. So this one, it makes him a 3 defense, but he can also heal every turn as well. So
yeah, it provides an energy strength.
Yep, energy strength on that one.
All right, and then we have imitation shape. This one gives Hulkling +2 thwart, so now he can thwart for 3. Force interrupt. When an enemy would attack you, it schemes instead. So this works similar to Nick Fury's stealth suit. So you do have to be careful with this form because there's going to be extra thwarting than normal. Hero response, after you play an event, exhaust imitation shape and draw a card. That part is amazing, and it provides 2 mental.
Yeah, you just got to make sure you can take care of the threat.
Right. So sometimes, the beginning of the game, threat might get a little overwhelmed and somebody on our group might complain. But,
he's not talking about me, guys.
But but because he doesn't realize that I'm on top of it and I'm removing more threat that's getting added each turn. Yet he doesn't complain about Dirk playing one way or another for no reason.
Yeah, right. All right. Then we've got the alien physiology. So this is a 3-cost upgrade. It's a superpower. And as a response, you can exhaust this to generate a wild resource or 2 wild resources if you're using it to play for a Hulkling card. So anything in his kit, it's worth 2. So it can be used to pay for any of his upgrades.
All right. Then we got 3 copies of Shapeshifter Strike. I love this card. Deal 5 damage to an enemy. Ready your shapeshift upgrade. So this is a way to be able to trigger your shape power multiple times.
Yeah, if you've got the resources to do it, you have a couple of these in your hand. Oh yeah, you can get some swings off.
This is another great card.
All right, then this one is the Armored Defense. So this is a 1-cost defense superpower event. It's a hero interrupt. Whenever an enemy attacks, you deal 1 damage, or you deal damage to it equal to your defense. And then after this attack, you give Hulkling a tough status card. So now, it doesn't sound like it's phenomenal, honestly, but it is a great card because you're dealing some damage to the enemy that attacked you. You're getting yourself a tough status card, but you're also getting the event off during the minion phase or during the enemy phase.
Now, what's nice in multiplayer, say if you're in armored form and you're the second player, you play this when the first player is being attacked. Now, you don't get to stop the attack, but you're doing 3 damage to, say, the villain, and then you give yourself a tough status card, and then when the villain activates against you, you're tough. Yeah. And you've turned around and done 3 damage to him.
Yeah, or even if you're playing this in solo, though, it's great because, yes, you're still going to take the initial attack, but then you're going to get the tough status, so you've got the tough status for the next attack.
Right, and you get to trigger the shape.
Your shapeshift upgrade during the villain phase.
Yeah, but of course, it unfortunately be exhausted during the hero phase. But it might be worth it. Then this is probably
this might be my favorite card of his.
Yes. But I do like the attack one as well. But I think I like this one better.
Yeah.
This is impersonation. It's a 2-cost event. Superpower thwart. So you could use Def Focus. Hero action. Remove 4 threat from a scheme. If this removes the last threat from the scheme, you may change to alter ego. So when you go to alter ego, you will be able to grab a shapeshift upgrade. So now you have a double resource card in your hand to pay for other cards. Yeah, and if you have Altman Resonance, you can also shuffle a card into your deck and heal a little bit too. So
and then you still get to actually come up because you haven't gone down yet.
Because that doesn't count as you're flipping.
Yep, that is a phenomenal combination there.
And then the final kit card.
All right, the final card we've got here is the Shapeshifter card. So this is a 0-cost superpower event. It's as a hero action, you search your deck and discard pile for a shapeshift upgrade and add it to your hand and then shuffle. So now there are 2 very distinct ways that you can play. Well, you can play more than that, but the 2 big ways to play the Hulkling is to either pick 1 upgrade, stick with it throughout the game, and build your deck around that. If you do that, you can use this card and basically you're pulling extra resources into your hand. The other way is to build one to change shapes frequently so you're able to constantly ready yourself. And if you do that, then this is a way to get those new upgrades into your hand.
Right. And of course, it's an event, so you get to trigger your
Yes.
form. But the other thing you can do is, say, during the villain phase, an annoying attachment showed up that got attached to the villain, and you could sit there and go, "Oh, well, I'll play this," and I could grab the energy strength, one, and I've got, I can pay off the upgrade that's on there.
Yep.
So this is a great way to just say, yeah, I can take care of that upgrade, with one card. All right. Then his obligation is complicated lineage. Give to the Teddy Altman player. You may flip to alter ego form and choose. You can exhaust Teddy Altman, remove complicated lineage from the game, or you discard each shapeshift upgrade you control, discard this card. Now, of course, you could only have one shapeshift, but it's kind of annoying if you have no shapeshift cards out.
Yeah, it hurts.
Because you're down to a 1/1/1 at that point. And you might, hopefully have an impersonation so you can grab another one, go to alter ego, but otherwise you might have to kind of struggle.
Yeah, otherwise you got to spend a turn to go get another one.
Yeah.
All right, and then moving on to his Nemesis set, his signature Nemesis minion is the Super Scroll. So he is an elite scroll with 5 hit points. He schemes for 1, he attacks for 1, and then as a force interrupt, whenever he attacks you, you're going to discard the top card of your deck. And based off the printed resources that card has, you're going to take the following. If he's got energy, he's going to deal +2 for the attack. If he's got a mental, you're going to discard a card from your hand. If he's got a strength, you're going to give him a test status. And if he's got a wild, you'll discard an upgrade you control. And unfortunately, you do have those 4 upgrade cards in your hand. So there is a chance that you're going to discard one of them.
Okay.
Which could trigger 2 different things.
Then there's no business like scroll business. It's 5 threat. It says Super Scroll was sent to abduct Hulkling after his true heritage was revealed. However, for those who know who he is in the comics, or if you could just take a look at the art here, that's kind of a rocky hand there. There's some fiery legs. He's got kind of a stretchy arm. I'm hoping that this leads to something soon someday. But in any case, force response. After any number of cards are discarded from the top of a player's deck, place those cards face down under the scheme, and it's got an acceleration token.
All right, then we've got the fantastic powers. So this attachment, it's a superpower that gets attached to a minion. But the attached minion is going to get +1 scheme, +1 attack, +3 hit points, and gain retaliate. And what you're going to do is you're going to find, whenever this is revealed, you're going to find Super Scroll, put him into play, engage with you, and attach this to him. And if you're in hero form, he is going to attack you.
And see my comment about the previous card regarding the name of this card. Then we have You're Coming With Me. We got two copies. It's a treachery. When revealed, alter ego, discard the top 3 cards of your deck. Place 1 threat on the main scheme for each different resource icon on the discarded cards, which can be annoying with the double resources for his shapeshifts. And then when revealed, discard the top 3 cards of your deck. Take 1 damage for each different resource icon on the discarded cards, and it's all 4 different types. So, which can be really bad if you discard 3 shapeshifts.
That could hurt.
All right. Then we're going to go over some cards, aspect cards that we think are good. Now, one thing is Hulkling is an Avenger. So we actually have a separate video about the Avengers and Avenger allies and Avenger cards that are good for any Avenger, like the Quinn Carrier and a bunch of... Now, some Avenger allies might show up here, but they're specifically, we think, are good for Hulkling. And so we want to call them out again. All right. So first
thing we've got here is Bring It. So it's a 0 cost event, max 1 per phase, but you're going to draw a card for each minion engaged with you. Now, what I did with a lot of the cards here, this kind of plays into that, is he does like to be able to make sure that he's got enough events to trigger the specials on his upgrades. So I've included a few. There's a lot of them, but I've gone in and I've found some 0 cost upgrades that I think would be really good for him. Now, I would not necessarily include every one of them in the particular aspects that we're looking at, but these are some of the ones that I think are some of the better ones for him. They do things that work really well with him.
Yeah. So he doesn't care about minions specifically, but if he's engaged with some, getting extra card draw is amazing.
Oh yeah, the card draw, and it's a 0 cost.
Yeah. All right. Then we got Plan of Attack here.
I love this one.
0 cost event. It's a tactic, action. Search the top 4 cards of your deck, top 7 instead if you're in alter ego form, and for an attack event, and add that card to your hand, shuffle your deck. Now, of course, with the impersonation, he can get down to alter ego, so then you could use the 7 card version of this and then still come up. And, hey, you could take Shapeshifter Strike, because it says attack event. It doesn't have to be an aggression event. It just has to be an attack event.
Yeah. Now this one, if you play this, whenever you're in alter ego, of course, you're not going to get the use of his hero ability of the event ability on his upgrade, but you're still getting to look at additional cards with this one. But it works either way.
And you get because if you're doing the impersonation thing, you're going to flip to hero. So yeah, you don't get it for that card, but you get it for the card that you drew.
Yep.
So then, aggression deck wouldn't be an aggression deck without home technique. 3 cost upgrade requires 2 mental, which his imitation shape we can pay for almost by itself, or at least has the mental requirements. And when you play an aggression attack, if you paid for that event using a mental resource, increase the amount of damage that event deals by its printed cost.
Okay.
Then we have...
All right. Then we've got Bombs Away here. So this is a 2 cost attack event. It's an aerial tactic. But as a hero action, you exhaust an aerial character you control and choose a player. Deal 3 damage to the villain and each minion engage with that player. So now, this one, you would think, oh, well, I got to build an aerial. But however, remember, we've got the wing shape, which gives him aerial while this is in play. So you can utilize this one either by utilizing the wing shape or by using other aerial characters in your deck.
Okay. And then keeping with Dirk's tradition of cheap cards, we got Dive Bomb here.
Yeah, this is one of the few that I put in there.
Aerial attack, play only if your identity has the aerial trait, so only if you could become aerial. Hero action, deal 7 damage to an enemy, deal 1 damage to each other enemy. And of course, if you own techniques, this is ridiculously powerful.
That's why I will pay the 4 for this. All right, but then also kind of sticking with that whole aerial thing with the aggression cards, because I do love aerial. Is Pitchback. So this is a 1 cost aerial attack event. You do have to have aerial to play this, so you are actually required to have it. It doesn't work if a minion does. But after your hero attacks, you deal 4 damage to an enemy, and it does not have to be the enemy that you attacked.
Okay.
It also does not have to be a basic.
Then we're moving to Justice. So I got Jessica Jones here. She's a 3 cost ally, 1 thwart, 2 attack, 3 hit points. She's a defender. Jessica Jones gets +1 thwart for each side scheme in play.
All right, then we've got Quake. So Quake is a 2 cost Avenger Shield agent with 2 hit points. She thwarts for 1, attacks for 2. But as a response after a minion schemes, you can exhaust her to deal 2 damage to that minion. And kind of what I'm looking at here with the Justice, if you have kind of figured that out, is, again, this is playing into one of his shapes specifically, is that imitation shape, because whenever you're in that shape, then the minions are going to scheme instead of attack you.
All right. And then we got foiled, and because the villain's going to attack as scheme as well.
Yep.
So that's what this card's for. 0 cost. When a boost card is turned face up during a scheme activation, cancel its boost icons.
And again, 0 cost event during the villain phase. We've got Great Responsibility. This event is a hero interrupt, so whenever any amount of threat would be placed on a scheme, you take it as damage instead. You can do this either, it's not whenever it's placed on by a thwart action or anything, or by a scheme action or anything. It could even be done at the beginning of the round. So.
No. So we got
my favorite Justice card.
One way or another, 0 cost event, max 1 per round. Search the encounter deck for a side scheme, reveal that side scheme, draw 3 cards, defeat the scheme that you drew.
All right, then we've got Turn the Tide. So this is a 0 cost attack event. After your hero thwarts or removes all threat from the scheme, you deal 3 damage to an enemy.
All right. And we got a player side scheme. Generation X, Victory 0. Each X-Men character gets +1 thwart while making a basic thwart against the scheme. That's not the important part.
No.
It does come in with 3 threat per player, but when defeated, each player may search the deck and discard pile for an identity-specific event and add it to their hand. So you want to get Hulkling's events, so this is a good card to get them back.
And honestly, especially if I'm playing Justice, I'm probably going after this impersonation. I mean, it's my favorite card of his anyways, but with Justice, that's just more incentive to go after that one. All right, then we've got Informant. So this is a 1-cost preparation upgrade, max 1 per player. But when a minion schemes, you can discard this, and the activation removes threat instead of placing it. So this is a great one if you've got a minion who has villainous, and they're going to scheme on you. You can do this instead, because if you're in the 1 form, they're scheming, and you can remove it.
Imitation shape, yeah. And then we got Prism Dust. It's a 1-cost upgrade, preparation tech, max 1 per player. Hero response attack. After a minion enters play, you can discard Prism Dust, confuse that minion, and deal 2 damage to it. So now, again, this is really good if you're in imitation shape, because you get the new minion, you're going to confuse them, you do some damage, and then they're going to thwart against you, even if you're up as in hero form.
Yep. All right, so moving on to leadership now. We're going to start with Kalu. So this is one, if you've seen a few of our videos, you know how much we love this guy. He is a 2-cost Avenger Mystic ally with 2 hit points. He thwarts for 1, he attacks for 1. But the important thing about him is after he enters play, you get to search the top 5 cards of your deck for an event, add that to your hand, and shuffle your deck. So, of course, we love to be able to get his events. So.
All right. Then we have Call for Aid. It's a 0-cost event. Discard cards from the top of your deck until you discard an Avenger ally, then add that ally to your hand. And you could do it to get Wiccan or any other Avengers that you might throw in your deck.
Yep. All right, then we've got Make the Call. So this is an old and dear one to my heart. So this is 0-cost event, but as an action, you can play the printed cost of an ally in any player's discard pile to put that ally into play under your control. And of course, Wiccan is a great target for this because of his ability, but you can use this for anybody. And if you're playing leadership, it's always Maria. I mean, there's a reason she's on that card.
Then we got Moxie. So after you change form, your hero gets +1 thwart, +1 attack, and +1 defense until the end of the round. This is really nice if you're playing impersonation, because you can go to alter ego and then you can flip back. And you get an extra +1 to all your stats. And this also helps during the villain phase, because with that extra defense.
Yeah, now important to note, his shape changing forms or whatever, those do not count for the Moxie changing forms.
No, it has, yeah, because they're not forms.
They're not forms.
Okay.
All right, so then we've got Squared Off. So this is a 0-cost tactic event. As a hero action, you discard cards from the encounter deck until you discard a minion. You put it into play with you, and then you get to play an ally from your hand, reducing its cost by 3. Again, Wiccan's a great target, but any ally that you've got, it reduces it by 3, so you could play a 4-cost ally. It's a good way to play an expensive ally.
All right, the final leadership card we got is United We Stand. Play only if your identity has the Avenger trait.
And of course, you've got a million traits.
Heal 1 damage from up to X friendly characters to a maximum of 3 characters, where X is equal to the villain stage number. So now this is really good if you're playing Expert, for example,
yes,
or the new Civil War wave. You don't, if it's stage 4, that doesn't help because you can only do 3 characters, but you could start with 3 characters if you're playing Expert against any of the Civil War leaders. So that's kind of nice. All right, then Protection.
All right, moving on to Protection. Of course, we love Kalu. We also love Brother Voodoo. Very similar card to him. He's a 3-cost Avenger Mystic with 3 hit points. He thwarts for 2 with a double consequential, and he attacks for 1. But what he does again is after he enters play, you search top 5 cards of your deck for an event card, add it to your hand, and shuffle.
Right.
Love that ability.
Then we have Come Get Me, Bub. It's a tactic. Hero action. Discard cards from the encounter deck until you discard a minion. Put that minion into play. Engage with you. Heal 3 damage from your identity and give your identity a tough status card. Bub.
All right. So then we've got Aerial Intervention. So this is a 0-cost event. It is an aerial event, but as an interrupt, when a character would take any amount of damage from an attack, you can exhaust an aerial character you control to prevent up to 3 of that damage. Of course, this one does require you to either be in the flight form. What's it called?
Winged.
Wing shape. Yeah, you have to be in the wing shaped or have an aerial character out in play to use this one.
All right. And then we have, this is a card that came in this set. Cuts both ways. Hero interrupt defense. When an enemy attacks you, you gain retaliate 1 to the end of the phase. Now, this is really nice. I think it's armored shape. Yeah.
Yes.
So if you're in armored shape, you do this against the villain, say. So now you get retaliate 2, and then all the minions are going to attack you, and you're going to do a retaliate 2 against them as well.
Yep.
So that's pretty nice. It's almost like he's got these cards for each shape.
All right, then we've got Defiance. So this is a 0-cost defense event. Whenever a boost card on an enemy attacking you would be turned face up, discard it instead.
Okay. And we got Desperate Defense. So again, this is kind of nice if you're playing armored shape.
Yeah, so I included an event that's not a 0, but it's worth it.
Yeah. So it costs 1. Hero interrupt defense. When you defend against an attack, it gets +2 defense for this attack. And if you take no damage from this attack, you can ready your hero.
Yeah, depending on which form you're in, that could be quite a large defense,
especially armored form.
Yeah.
But all right.
Then we got Expert Defense. So this is a 0-cost event. When your hero defends against an attack, it gets +3 defense for that attack. So that way, in case you're not in armored form.
I don't. Does he have a lot of tech? I didn't think he had a lot of tech.
Huh?
I don't think he has a lot of tech.
He does not have a lot of tech, but so this is one you would actually have to build to.
Which you didn't include.
But yeah, I did not include them. I'm gonna, if you decide to use this one, then there's a ton of techs that have, especially in protection.
Yeah, so I mean you can have an energy barrier and a force field generator and that kind of stuff. But okay, so this costs 0, repurpose, skill, hero action, discard a tech upgrade you control. Ready your hero and choose thwart, attack, or defense until the end of the round. The hero gets +X to that chosen power, where X is equal to the upgrade's printed cost. All right, then we move into pool.
All right, so the first one we've got here is Barely a Scratch. So this is a 0-cost defense event. So as a hero interrupt, whenever you would take any amount of damage from an attack, you're going to prevent 1 of that damage for each of the nasty symbols out into play. So yeah, this one, again, 0-cost event, so it's great for him. But if you've got a few of those out there, then it also has added abilities. But it works even as a 0-cost event.
Right. Then we got Get Ragey. This is Get Ready Improved. Action, ready an ally. That ally gets +1 attack until the end of the phase. Well, we might have to be careful with that because, if Marvel Champions follows Arkham, we might be having a volume 2 of Arkham. I mean, of Marvel Champions.
Yeah. Does that mean I'm going to get this? I'm going to be able to use this with Maria?
Probably not.
I would love to be able to use that with Maria.
No, probably if with Maria will not be allowed to have recursion.
Nope, they will not. Oh, no, I might have to quit the game then. All right, so then we've got Not My Responsibility. So this is a 0-cost event. It is the improved version. It's Deadpool's improved version of the Great Responsibility, but as an interrupt. So you do not have to be a hero for this now. When any amount of threat will be placed on a scheme, you or your ally takes it as damage instead. And there is a max of 1 per deck. Again, you're probably going to try to use this in hero form so you can take advantage of your shape's ability, but it does work if you're down as well.
All right, then we got a player side scheme. Living Dangerously, cost 0, victory 0. Each identity gets +2 hand size, which is really nice. But it comes with a crisis, an acceleration, an amplify, and a hazard. And it's 3 threat per player. And of course, it's got some great flavor text. Nothing can cause me pain, not even an oncoming.
All right. So yeah, this one, I mean, it does have its risks, but that +2 hand size, especially if you're trying to set up or something early, that can definitely help out a lot. But I mean, he just loves to be able to get to those side schemes early. So you get to him, you get your stuff out, and then you get rid of the card.
Okay. And we got Healing Factor here.
Oh yeah, so Healing Factor. So this is a 3-cost upgrade. It's a superpower, max 1 per player. And after the player phase begins, you exhaust this, heal 2 damage from your identity. So this is a great way if you take a couple of points of damage every turn on a consistent basis, you could just keep it healed.
All right. Then we got Laser Sword.
Because he doesn't have a weapon, so who doesn't like laser swords?
3-cost upgrade. count as 2 restricted cards, max 1 per deck. Your hero gets +1 attack for each of the horrible symbols in play to a maximum of +4. All right, then basic. Now, one of the things I was thinking of for Hulkling is you want to get the Hulkling's cards
Yeah.
as much as possible, even if you're not playing a basic. But of course, our basic decks, that's the point for all heroes. But just his events are so amazing that the more card draw you can get, the better.
So, in that vein, first card we've got here is Nick Fury, who is a 4-cost ally. Shield Spy with 3 hit points, thwarts for 2, attacks for 2. And then after he enters play, you're going to choose to either remove 2 threat from a scheme. I didn't even know that was on there for the longest time. Dave had to point that out to me. No, I knew it was there. I just never used it. Draw 3 cards or deal 4 damage to an enemy. And at the end of the round, if he's still in play, you're going to discard him. So yes, he's in here because of that 3-card draw, so that you can get to your cards faster.
Yeah, Dirk has a self-redacted version of the card in his mind, I think.
Yeah, it's got the other 2 marked out.
So then this card's very similar. Nick Fury Sr. costs 4, 2 thwart, 2 attack, 3 hit points. Shield Soldier. After Nick Fury Sr. enters play, choose 1. Remove 3 threat from a scheme, draw 2 cards, or give a shield character a tough status card, of which the third option is not going to help you specifically that much. But at the end of the round, if Nick Fury Sr. is still in play, discard him. So yeah, drawing 2 cards is nice. The other thing that's kind of nice, which is you can remove 3 threat when he comes out, and then you turn around and thwart. So you can remove 5 threat. So if you're playing the imitation shape, this is a great way to thwart a bunch of threat. You're removing 5 threat for a cost of 4.
And they're very similar, but if I've got the 2 of them coming out, if I'm going to use one to thwart with, it's going to be Nick Senior typically, because he removes the 3 and thwarts for the 2 as well. So
yeah.
All right, next year we've got Yellow Jacket, who I believe Yellow Jacket came with him.
No, came with Tigra.
Did he come with Tigra?
I think so. Yeah, I think he came with.
What is that symbol?
Oh, that they're both in the same set, so they have the same.
Oh, okay. But Yellow Jacket is a 3-cost ally. He's an Avenger with 3 hit points. He thwarts for 2. He attacks for 2. He does take double consequential on both of them, and you do have to be an Avenger to play him. However, after he enters play, we come back to this. Search top 5 cards of your deck for an upgrade and add it to your hand. So he's looking for upgrades. So instead of the events like Kalu and Brother Voodoo, but of course you've got the phenomenal upgrades that provide 2 resources with the Hulkling. So he fits really well into Hulk.
All right. Now with Hulkling, I don't tend to run the double resources. So I put these assess the situations, which I always include when I'm doing basic, but I include these even in non-basic Hulkling decks. Because again, it's a nice way to cycle through the deck to get to the Hulkling cards that the events that you want to play over and over again.
Yep.
So, and of course it'd be 3 copies, but we got assess the situation, cost 0, tactic, action, you get +1 hand size until the end of the phase. So then you get the distracted flyby, and then you have to discard down 4 cards. Or discard your hand and draw 4, which really sucks.
You want to see what he's talking about there, because that's not actually part of one of the standard sets, or one of the official sets. Is we've got a video that goes over some of the different additional standard sets, and that comes from one of the Con of Heroes sets, which those are fun to play. You can go and get those as print and plays.
Yeah.
And I think we've got links on that other video. So this here, though, we've got Earth's Mightiest Heroes. So this is a 0-cost event. You can exhaust an Avenger character you control to ready another Avenger character you control. So this is one with Hulkling. That's one thing we did kind of notice that when we were playing him a lot. It wasn't as important for us to use his basics as some other characters. So we might actually use this to exhaust him to ready a different ally if the situation works better. But if not, you can always exhaust an Avenger ally to ready to ready him instead.
Yeah. So, unfortunately, this card doesn't have all the text printed on it that it's supposed to. Exhaust Avenger, you bonk a defender in the back of the head, ready another Avenger character you control.
That is what it looks like is happening there. But...
All right, then we have an emergency. I don't know why.
It's a 0-cost event. That's why it's in here.
0-cost event. Interrupt, thwart. When the villain schemes, you can reduce the amount of threat placed on this scheme by 1. I don't think outside of playing the very, very first game I've ever used this card.
I have actually used this a couple of times whenever I am looking for cheap events specifically.
Okay.
but I don't tend to put more than one in there. Warning, this is another one very similar thing. It's I do not use it in a typical deck, but whenever I'm looking for cheap events, this is a good one to include there. It's a zero cost defense event that can be used in any aspect, but whenever a hero would take any amount of damage, you can reduce that amount by one. And that doesn't have to be you, that can be any hero.
Yeah, actually, I do like that card in Ghost Spider
Yes.
because it's a nice cheap interrupt. All right. And this is a card I used to play all the time. I haven't really played it that much lately, but for Hulkling, I think it's great, especially with the impersonation card, because you could flip down to alter ego and
Yep.
might as well heal one while you're down. So this crew quarters, one cost support, play under any player's control, max one per player, alter ego action, exhaust crew quarters, heal one damage from an alter ego.
And alter ego does not have to be.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be yourself, but yeah, I mean, you could typically go down, and yeah, if another player is way low, you could zap it to heal them one, or you just come back up with one extra hit point, and you got the Altman Residence, which is allowing you to heal two, so you can actually heal three without exhausting using the recovery.
Yep. All right. Then we've got the front organizations. I stumbled on it. I call it the front office, but it's a zero cost location support. You can play it under any player's control, maximum per player. But as an interrupt, when an encounter card effect would discard a card you control, you discard this instead of discarding that card. So it does have to be an encounter card. It can't be one of your cards, but you can use this to protect your shapes because, like Dave said earlier in the video, it can hurt a lot whenever you don't have a shape out there.
All right, and then the final card we got is Def Focus. It's a one cost upgrade. It's a skill, max one per player. Hero action, exhaust Def Focus, reduce the resource cost of the next superpower card you play this turn by one. He has a lot of superpowers.
He does. So, yep.
All right. So, Hulkling is really fun. And I tend to pick a shape and stick with it for the game as much as possible. I mean, I have played where I flipped them around a bunch, but I think I tend, when I build the decks, I kind of like, going, yeah, I think I want this to be an imitation shape game. And so I'll have cards to kind of offset the extra thwarting, or I want to have the armored form, so I'm going to do like a perfect defense and stuff. So, but he is very versatile. So
yeah, and I've after playing him a few times, I've tried him both ways. He is fun to play both ways. I mean, the flip of the forms a lot. It is kind of fun. It's a little bit of a rush to flip that form, and get the ready and everything out of it, and then be able to use the ability of the next one as well. So it is kind of fun, but I tend to like, it's they're not as consistent, and I love the consistency of picking one form and just focusing on that form. And so I will use my first activity of the game to go and get that one form, and I might not change that form the entire game, unless something comes up that forces me to, or either because I lose it or because I need to switch to another form to be able to deal with some kind of issue that's come up. But like I said, I enjoy playing both ways. I think I do lean toward playing the one single form focus as well.
yeah, now this is the second hero that I don't include the double resources. So when Jubilee came out, because she likes to have different resources, I thought, okay, but she
Yeah.
was the only hero for the longest time that I didn't include the double resources.
Yeah.
To the point where even done with the Hulk, where I only throw in strength, but most of the time I'll even throw in the other two just because for the resources, it's just, yeah, he likes to have only strength for some stuff, for the bonuses that he gets. But just the fact that you need to have the resources.
Yeah, and I've kind of actually started shying away from them a little bit more because I tend to play a little bit cheaper decks. So it's not as big of a pain point for me not to have the extra resources. But yeah, it was phenomenal having those extra resources available from him
Yeah,
by default.
cheaper decks.
Hey, I said not all.
All right,
I carry them in those decks.
all right. Well, anyways,
Because I run a full set of those.
okay. Anyways, thank you for watching, everyone. Please like and subscribe.
And if you want to see more content by us, go and hit that notification bell down there, and you'll get alerts whenever we post new videos. All right, see you.